Welcome back to our still unnamed podcast. We have some ideas that we're going to throw out there for you guys to vote on. We had some suggestions come in. We came up with a few of our own, and we're going to throw them out to you guys in a poll later. But we brought Jordan in today. If you don't know Jordan, this is my lovely husband and CEO.
Lovely. Wow.
Today. CEO only because you wouldn't let me have the title.
Oh, that's a story for another day.
Story for another day. We thought it would be fun to have a glass of wine, ask some questions, and get to know a little bit more. I thought I was going to flip that over. Get to know a little bit more about American Edge. We do have an About Us page, but I just think it's a little more fun to hear it come straight out of your mouth.
Okay.
So I guess I'll get the conversation rolling. Your dad started the company.
Correct.
And we took it over, obviously, in 2019.
Yep.
But let's go back to when your dad started the company.
Okay.
How old were you?
0.
0.
I was 6 months old.
6 months old.
Yep.
Okay, so 92.
Yep.
Started it, obviously not this building.
Correct. Started it out of his house in the basement.
How did he get to, what even started his desire to start this company?
He was going to school for marketing and working at Cutco doing the door-to-door sales thing for that. And that just kind of expanded into him bringing along his own knives and doing his own thing, and then started doing the gun shows on the weekends and grew from there.
So it's actually really funny that you say that he did Cutco, because I feel like, have you gotten this question when you tell people what you do for a living, when you're like, yeah, I sell knives, and then they're like, oh, so
every
Cutco.
time.
Yeah. Every
time.
Like Cutco knives? Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, we have Cutco steak knives.
Well,
they're great.
good knives.
But they're good knives. So if he started it when you were little, like before you even here, did you go to any of the shows with him? Like, we go to a lot of shows now, but that show life looks a lot different than probably what it looked like when you were a kid.
Correct. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, he did 25 to 30 shows a year just on the weekends. You know, it's a Friday to Sunday thing.
And you're complaining about how many we do?
Well, so that's different. We fly all over the place and spend money at all these shows. All the shows we did then was driving and setting up and selling stuff and making money. Yeah, it's very different.
It is very different.
But yeah, so I did that. I went to a lot. I didn't go to all of them for sure, but I would do probably 5 or 6 a year.
What was so when you would go to these shows with your dad? I know we've brought the girls to a few shows, and I feel like it's so chaotic to bring the kids. Like, what were you doing? Like, were you helping your dad, or were you being chaotic like our children?
It depended. I really enjoyed helping for sure, but also got bored easily, I guess, when the show was slow, or when I was like, okay, I've had enough of the knife thing. I would just sit under the tables and read or play video games or whatever.
Grab people's legs.
Yeah, hit people in the legs, whatever you gotta do, right?
So when did you realize this was something that you wanted to do? Because I mean, viewers don't know, but you might not even know, we've been together since we were in high school. So you've been doing this for as long as I've known you.
Sure.
I mean, you had some side jobs in high school and stuff, but I think our senior year you did this full time. So was it prior to that you decided, or?
Yeah, I mean, it was probably sometime around my junior year in high school. I kind of at that point didn't know what I wanted to do for my career, and didn't want to go to school when I didn't know what I wanted to do and waste the money. So my dad offered me to work with him full time for a couple of years and see if it was something that I wanted to do, or wait till I figured out what I wanted to do. And that's pretty much it. That's all she wrote. I've been here ever since. And I did work part-time prior to that for 4 or 5 years, besides the shows, just helping with the website stuff, doing pictures and listing products and doing sales when my dad was gone, or answering the phone and all that kind of stuff. But full time I started.
What year did the website become a thing?
So 2002 to 2003, right in that realm. We went live with it in 2003, and that's when my dad quit his other job and made this the full-time.
So he went for his passion. So he he was working and then did this on the side?
Yep, so he worked night shifts my whole life, basically, and did this on the weekends. So he was gone a lot. He worked from 3 in the afternoon till midnight or whatever, and then would be gone on the weekends at shows most of the time.
It's so crazy, like, to think about having like a full-time job and then just like pursuing your passion on the side and then watching it grow to like where it is now.
Yep. So and then it was, I don't know, I lost my train of thought there.
Like, well, we were talking about the website.
Yeah.
And like what your dad was doing
Right.
is working, and then started this. At what point did we go from website to physical location? If you're not from here, we actually have a full size showroom downstairs and an upstairs and a vault, and we have a shipping area. We have the mod shop in the back. We have this huge facility. We need a bigger one.
Yeah.
But like, at what point did we move from the house next door to here?
When we ran out of room and stuff started spilling out of the basement into the everyday life of the house, mom wasn't happy anymore, and the business was successful enough to support having a building for itself.
What year was that?
That was in 2013.
Yeah,
Okay.
the year we got married.
So we moved into this current building on like right after Thanksgiving of 2013.
You had your bachelor party in here when it was just
Before it was done. Yeah.
before it was even done.
Yeah, sure did.
I remember when it was back in the basement, like all the chaos. It's much more organized now.
Slightly.
Slightly. I shouldn't even say much more.
There's
Slightly.
more stuff to organize now.
Yeah.
Here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, if you think about like a smaller space, the amount of things that they had.
Yeah.
Like, I know we've brought on several brands since I came on board in 19.
Yep.
But I know you probably brought on brands prior to me starting. Like,
Sure.
I think your dad, correct me if I'm wrong, like, were you guys ProTech and Microtech dealers back when it started? Like when ProTech and Microtech started, or like how long?
Not that early. ProTech pretty close to the beginning. Microtech probably right around the same time as we brought on ProTech. Late 1999, early 2000 probably.
I feel like that. When did Microtech start? Like
Microtech was like 94.
So we were one of the earlier
for sure.
That's pretty cool.
There
Yeah.
wasn't.
That's cool to be able to
There
see.
wasn't obviously a ton of knife dealers at that point, right? It was the
Yeah, I
internet
suppose.
wasn't a thing yet.
I would say 2003 is pretty early for internet, right? Or internet's like 96, right?
Well, the internet was around, but there wasn't a ton of
Dial-up.
knife websites back then, right? There was like, PBK was real early.
I was just gonna say,
real
weren't they
early
one of
on
the first
into the
ones?
website thing for sure. Like 888 knives, things like that.
888
that
knives.
don't exist anymore.
That's crazy to
Yeah.
watch, like where it came from to like where,
Sure.
like not even just American Edge, just like the knife industry in
Yeah,
general.
it's fascinating for me to
I
hear.
feel like a lot of the big knife players started in the early 2000s. Like I know Blade HQ was real early 2000s, like 03, 04 or somewhere like that.
I wonder what like caused like the influx of all these knife companies in the
I've
late
thought about
90s,
that
early
a lot.
2000s. Like, how did it go from like
Yeah.
if you think about like the old school stuff, like I don't know how long's like Victory Knox and Buck and like Kershaw and like that kind of stuff been around.
A long time.
Like wait, previous before
Kershaw
that.
and Spyderco like the 70s.
Yeah, so it's just interesting to see like
Buck-
how far like
Buck
the
is
knife
way
industry
older than that. Buck's been around for a
ever.
long time.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah,
knife
and just
knives are
even
still-
in the 6 months that I've been here, you guys have brought
The-
on quite a few brands.
Oh, we have
too.
some more
Big-
coming on.
Big transition in the knife market came in the 90s when tactical knives started to become really popular.
That was
Like the late 80s, early 90s, like
when Bob Terzola started.
Terzola and
There's
the
like
Black Knives
Godfather
and
of
like
tactical knives.
Reese Weiland and people like that.
Reese Weiland's the Hawk, right? No.
Yes.
Yes.
The Hawk. Yeah.
I
He
have-
designs lots of
I'll
stuff.
never forget that.
Lots of early on people like that started popularizing the knife thing and getting people excited about it again. That's kind of also when traditional stuff started to transition, right? There's more collectors for the cool new high-tech stuff, not the traditional slip joints and pocket knives.
Although, like, I've seen like a comeback with the slip joints.
Yeah, the modernization of the slip joints for sure.
Like you've got like the gin coming from Heritech. You've got Jack Wolf that's all over the place. Like,
ZT.
yeah, just interesting seeing the
Yeah.
waves of the industry. So we talked about like the past of American Edge, like how we started, where we're at now. We bought the company in 2019 when your dad passed away.
Yep.
And then we've been growing it significantly.
Mhm.
Yep.
Where do you see the future of American Edge? Like, what is your goal for the company?
No, I'd like to move into a bigger building and have a nicer layout for our showroom for sure.
I would agree with that.
There's a few brands that we're targeting for sure.
Oh yeah.
Been working on
Great
for a while.
show, Atlanta. We're coming for you.
Been working on them for a while, but you know, hopefully at some point we're able to bring those on, and we are bringing on some currently, and we're currently working with Medford to get set up with them, so that'll be coming
Afros, we've got
soon.
Jack Wolf.
So we're kind of, when we say we carry 400 brands, it's not like stuff that we actively stock, right? So we actively stock from maybe 20 brands.
Yeah.
Like when we say 400, it's like, oh, we have one antique knife from this guy.
But still, I think that gives us like an edge.
Well, for sure. I mean, we have a lot of unique stuff that a lot of places
we get a lot of comments about our selection.
Yeah. I think that's definitely something
hard to find stuff.
Definitely sets us apart. Because I know your dad like did more of like the traditional stuff versus like we.
It was a good mix of both for sure. But you know, like when you go to the gun shows, that's like small local gun shows. That's what you get. You get, you know, pocket knives or fake China stuff. And
I never went to knife shows before.
Yeah.
You.
I mean, now you get people knitting blankets and selling you pot holders at gun shows, but
I like that part.
Right, but
and the turkey commercials.
Yeah. It's a bonus. It's a bonus.
Brittany, have you gone to any knife shows yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Is there one that you're like, you really want to go to?
I don't know enough about all of them yet.
I feel like Utah would be a good one for you.
Kind of wait to hear you guys' stories on each one.
Oh, don't listen to
maybe
my
after.
stories.
Don't listen to the
Don't
stories.
listen to my stories. If you know, you know.
Yeah. No, I'll wait. I'll wait a full year and wait to hear about all of them.
Yeah.
I feel like Utah would be a good one for you.
Smaller shows are good to start with.
See, I keep doing that.
Pushing the table out.
Pushing the table, and then I'm like, promise it's not the wine. I'm just naturally clumsy.
You're just you like to hit.
I know, that's why my pocket clips are always like.
I was just gonna say.
Because I normally stand like this at shows, and then my pocket clips are.
Shred the pocket clips.
Speaking of pocket clips, what are you carrying today?
Well, I couldn't decide because typically, like summer months, I'm carrying my Manticore S from Heretic. It's
That's
nice
a Bowie blade.
Is that the 80s?
Bowie blade. 80s fat carbon.
Not a recurve.
Love this. Super lightweight. Super snappy.
You carry that one a lot.
Super classy. Or I carry my Malibu anytime I'm wearing pants or anything like that. Like this is my shorts, my summer knife, lightweight, don't have to worry about it.
This is the Malibu I stole a few weeks ago.
I see a lot of that one.
This is my Malibu. I carry this most of the time, pretty much the rest of the year when I'm not carrying that, or special occasions when I carry something fancy. But those are kind of.
Sorry to cut you off. I didn't mean to.
Well, you know, I'm used to it at this point.
Stop. I've got one with not a great clip that needs to be switched. Got a Benchmade bug out.
What bug out?
Going lightweight today. The new one from this year.
I always recommend that one. Like when girls are like, I want one for like carrying with leggings. I always recommend the mini bug out because it's so lightweight.
The mini.
I like that color.
This is my favorite color.
I was just gonna say, I sense a theme.
Yeah. And then I've also got my new Mac 3-inch that we just had in stock.
I feel like you get a new McNeese like every week at this point.
She's obsessed.
I'm a bit of a fangirl. Yep.
I've got my TR3. This is like one of my, I know I didn't show this one like when we did our favorite knives, but I talked about it. This one is, it was a gift from my husband and Matt over at Microtech. Thank you so much. They put the AE logo on it. And then if you're on my Instagram, I don't know why I closed this because you can't see it's on the blade, but my Instagram handle is Mama Saldana 4. So I put Mama Saldana on the back. You can see my clip is very worn because I'm not careful with it. This is one of my favorite knives, plus the purple. And then I have like.
Was that your first blade show that Matt got you then?
That was my second.
Second blade show.
My second one. I also have a T-Bot today from Blackside Customs as my tool for my bottle opener and the things. And then I also have my tactile. I have two tactiles, but this one's my mini slim
fully
mini.
stocked today.
I am fully stocked today. Well, I have my Tie 2 Designs pen in my wallet, which is in my purse in my car.
I love those pens.
And it almost got taken by TSA. I gotta stop carrying like pens. Like they just every time I go
What
through.
is this one?
They took my Cairo.
It's a
tactile.
Was this a design they did?
Slim
No,
knives.
Dave anodized that one.
Oh, okay. That
They
looks really
have
nice.
done that one though. They call it like, I don't know, galactic something. Or
They're so
another.
great over there. I lost the top of it, and then they got me a new top and Loctited it for me.
Oh,
Michael
That's nice.
Miller's on top things. Yeah, my tattoo pen almost got taken on my way. I was just in North Carolina last weekend, New Orleans the weekend before. I feel like I've been gone a lot.
yeah.
But they stopped me at TSA because they thought my pen was a weapon.
See?
So, speaking of tools, we thought it would be fun. You're gonna love this. We want to know what a hot take is on like your least favorite EDC tool.
So a hot take.
A hot take,
What,
like
what
so.
tool I think
So like a hot
is
take would be like
dumb.
kind
Least
of like
necessary.
unnecessary, like it's overplayed. Like
That's a tough one, right? Like, I know a ton of people use and carry pry bars. I've never found a need for one, but I also don't work in a place where I would need a pry bar. So
Yeah.
I would say some challenge coins are
you don't have to give all.
kind of wild.
You're just like all of them. Just carry your knife.
Yeah. So like some challenge coins are cool, right? But when
Yeah.
people get like into like
Don't call it.
buying leather slips and lanyards and beads, like I don't know. I guess that's just
You're
not
just like,
that's just
two
not
knives.
my thing.
Two
I don't-
knives, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm just good with the knives and a pen. I
Gets
can
done.
roll with the knives and a pen.
Yeah.
You know, maybe a flashlight. I get that,
Yeah.
but
It gets to be a little heavy.
but I don't like carrying 40 pounds.
Well,
worth
you
of-
like wear such light pants too.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
what are you
So,
gonna
you know,
stick in there?
I like a manticore, right? I put it in my shorts. I don't carry anything else on the days where I wear shorts. I wear shorts and a manticore S.
What about you, Brittany? Do you have one that you're like, yeah, I can't get behind
You
it?
know, I didn't even think of the coins until he brought it up. But in a sense, I can see why some of them are really cool and sentimental. So for me, I would probably say the same. Pry bar, I have one attached to my keychain. I haven't found a use for it yet, but that's just
I don't
me.
know if I.
But it's there if I need it.
Pry bar is good to have to save your knife, you know. Otherwise, everybody just takes out
Yeah.
their knives and pries with their tips and then breaks them off.
Yeah.
And then it's like, wow, what the hell? This knife is broken now. It should
But I
have held
haven't-
up.
I haven't been in
A
the
situation
industry
yet.
long
Yeah.
enough to
I don't
the-
know
to
if
know
I
too
would.
much.
I don't know if I have like a hot take on one. Like,
Because I definitely have a flashlight in
Yeah.
my car.
Oh, for
yeah,
sure.
well, yeah, who doesn't need a flashlight?
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's crazy when people get like outrageous with like their flashlights. Like it's, you know what I mean?
Like the expensive
yeah.
mo-
I guess
many
maybe
expensive
that would maybe be mine. Like,
flashlight.
I don't know, but
I
I guess I don't really have a hot take. I have like favorites, and I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. Like
Yeah.
I love like your titanium toothpick.
yeah, it's just
Like,
practical.
that's
I use
practical.
that.
But like, okay, maybe mine is coins. I think they're cool,
I like coins to collect.
but not
That's-
like I'm
that's
not
the
going to
ticket.
carry
Not
them in
gonna-
my pocket.
yeah.
I'm not buying a leather slip to keep my coin or my
On
worry
you.
worry
Yeah.
stone in my pocket. Like
I actually like the race.
Worry stone. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I changed my
I like
answer.
the like what are those the Zerk fidget.
that's a fidget thing. That's different.
What's the difference between that and a worry stone?
Okay,
It's the same thing.
no, a worry stone is like
You rub your finger on it to feel the texture.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's-
what's the difference between that?
well,
You're
like
still rubbing your finger on the freaking.
okay, like a fidget thing, like the thing I have on my desk. You know, it's got magnets. It clicks. You move it around.
Yeah.
It's a tactile thing. Like
Yeah,
you just-
that just was a worry stone.
well, you know, sure. Yeah,
I
I get
changed
it.
my
Okay,
answer.
I get
The
it.
worry stones.
That's
The coins to collect.
coins to collect, not to carry in the pocket.
There you go.
Got it.
If you
Well-
want to put a lucky coin in your pocket, great. Buying a leather slip and putting a lanyard on it. I mean,
I'm gonna do
go for it.
I'm gonna do all of those things now just to annoy you.
Go for it. It doesn't annoy me. I'm just saying I'm not gonna
can't even-
put it in my pocket.
I can't even fit my knife in my women's pockets, let alone a
Right.
whole coin.
Well, we want to know what your
Hot take is, yeah.
on the least necessary EDC item.
Yeah,
Do you guys agree with our coin statements, or are we idiots?
we're probably idiots.
We're probably idiots.
That's all right. You can make fun of us.
All right, well, we'll see you back next week. We hope you enjoyed this, and we'll be back soon.
Yep.